time, at the beginning of my state speech, I'm going to give you guys one set of data. According to the most recent data, from the year 2000 to 2014, there's around 24.5 million girls aborted simply because of their gender. That will be around 1.6 million per year and 4,500 per day. And that comes down to about one abortion motivated by gender every 18 seconds. In 2013, there were 1.3 million girls aborted and a total of 65 million girls born. That's about 2% of total amounts of girls born. In China, couples feel more pressure because of birth limits. So, 9 girls out of every 100 are aborted. One recent study has shown that more than 40% of couples worldwide would choose the gender of their child if possible. So, after all, is the ability to choose the gender of a child a good thing? Proponents of gender selection have a strong argument and quite a bit of support from many different places. Dr. Ronald Erickson has been marketing a home test kit to couples to help them to choose the gender of the child. As a result, he is quite familiar with both sides of the issue and has been for the past 30 years. He suggests that it's a human rights issue and couples should be allowed to use this technology. While it seems strange to me, though, that after all the disruptive things we've done with technology, someone say that because it's available, we should be allowed to use it. Just because we can does not mean that we should. What most proponents of gender selection procedure will tell you is that gender selection process is in the beginning stages of development. So, scientists don't get it right 100% of the time. People who spend $1,000 trying to create a baby of their own choice, only to be disappointed. These sudden costs can result in termination of such pregnancies. Terminating a child's life because you wanted a different gender, is that really acceptable? Gender selection is not only dangerous, but can also create distorted sex ratios, especially in countries where one gender is the preferred member of society. In many countries across East Asia to South Asia, from Middle East to North Africa, there is a tradition called son preference. Sons are preferred because they have a higher wage earning capacity, especially in agrarian economies. They usually continue the family line and they're generally recipients of inheritance. While girls are often considered to be an economic burden because of the dowry system. And after marriage, they usually join the husband's family. So, receiving to have responsibility for their parents of illness and old age. It is also not in dispute that over the next 20 years, in large parts of Asia, there will be an excess of males. In fact, in some parts of China and India, there will be a 12 to 15% of excess of young men. These men will remain single and unable to get married. In societies where marriage is considered as virtually universal and social status acceptance generally depends on being married and creating a new family. There's also evidence showing that when these single young men congregate, the potential to trigger a large-scale domestic international war will increase because these young men are most likely to be attracted to military or military-type organizations. This sex imbalance in Asia could impact regional and global security with 40% of the world's population in China and India, and because of its surrounding countries of Pakistan, Nepal, and Bangladesh also have high sex ratios. So we're now encouraging our parents not to discriminate one sex or another, and we shall also not discriminate our opposite sex. The only way to choose the gender of a baby is through adoption. So if you're really adamant about having a boy or a girl, then all you have to do is to adopt one. Thank you.